toxic pollutants destroy her remaining rights. The power of corporations spewing chemicals into the air. Fines are imposed to discourage, but what's a dime to a millionaire? Stonewall, gonna bat, unless you want to live like that. Stonewall, can't we see we're our own worst enemy? It's time to listen and see the signs. It's time to listen and hear her cries.
Wow, 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 wow. Annihilator. So futuristic. Wow, they had an eye on the future quite literally. So sublimely talented. Wow, supremely talented rather. Wow, just the way this song was crafted, the music, the beautiful arrangement, the mind boggling twists and turns, and what wise lines. For 1990, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, literally. I don't know if I'm right when I read that this album was from 1990. Looks like it's been made just a year ago. It's so relevant today, all these things.
And
Sixes
it
and
sounds so
sevens.
fresh.
This song, the drunk driving song. This is great, great, great work by Annihilator. They should have won awards for this album, at least for a few songs, because no one really makes music like that anymore. Or very rare to come across music in general that is so hard hitting and powerful. The message is loud and clear. Every single song, it hits hard. I don't think I'll forget the message in one of these songs for anytime soon. It's so hard hitting. It's very rare to come across a band that has got this perfection as far as the message being so hard hitting. It's very, very clear whether it was the alcoholic driving, whether it is this pro environment song or anti all the people who are polluting the environment song. It's hard hitting. You won't forget all these lines, and wow, it's like quotes that you can use, on social media. That thing about they're discouraged, but what's a dime to a millionaire? Those kind of things can be used today by all the Greta Thunbergs of the world, and they possibly have made their reputations on songs like these and words like these. Wow, because I don't think they have their own brains. yeah, to use. What are your thoughts, Kirti and Max?
Oh, I love this song. It had such great music composition for it, and the lines are so hard hitting. By the end of it, you don't want to take off your headphones and stop listening to it. It is so relatable and it connects so deeply with you. I like the way they wrote this one. The lyric writing for this one, I have to see who's written if I can check it, because it's so unique. Stonewall right here. It was written by Jeffrey Bruce Waters, so Jeff Waters, okay. Amazingly written and executed song. It is one of the best one I think I'm going to come across on this album, but I would love it if they prove me wrong. And the very next song that we are going to react to is the title song itself, title of the album, Neverland. Why I say this is one of the best ones, because the way it is written, it's not just emphasizing on one aspect of life, but in a very subtle way. I think ANNIHILATOR has done a lot of things in one, has packed a lot of things in one word. Stonewall, I felt at once, when they're talking about dying for this thing, millionaire, just a dime for a millionaire, about the environment. But at the same time, I felt they also wanted to imply certain times that don't be a Stonewall, and at times open up and let your emotions be heard by other people. Because there was a moment when they said, should we not listen to her or something like that, or should we open our ears to her now? So I think it was packing a lot of social issues in one word and in certain phrases, and being presented to us. So it felt as if social isolation was also covered in the same song. Environmental degradation was also covered in the same song, and a lot of social apathy and everything was also covered in the same song. And love the way how music just makes it so real when you listening to it and when you experience it. Loved it the way they literally crafted this one. How about you, Max?
You have to say the song, it was very nice. It left a fog your listener's head.
Fog?
Like maybe the stone wall they meant like as a metaphor for industrialization or concrete.
Mhm.
Like it just goes on moving and moving and moving until you are crushed like that.
Right, yeah.
So just moving and moving, polluting it and destroying it is way until finally you're crushed. Until finally at the end you could listen beyond the stone wall. Until finally the gates open at the stone wall, you could finally hear what it crushed. The cries of the birds.
I think it was the symbol of being emotionless, somebody who's stone cold.
Yeah, well, but I think it's more the metaphor for industrialization and concrete. Like we just poured a concrete down here into stone. No more modernity is not stone.
True. Yeah. Amazing. If we are all done, then we can move on to the title track itself.
My room is full of toys and things, but filled with nothing new. Just me and Claire, alone in this enchanted, placid room. It's Saturday and no more school. There hasn't been for years. She says we're here forever, till eternity. Neverland. Please don't take me away to live in Neverland. Now to the Neverland. Time has passed and now I see what I've lived through. I've got no fears that match the hate that came from you. It's Saturday, I've things to do. I wish you all the best. Now I leave your placid room. Enjoy eternal rest.
Wow. Definitely should witness shades of King Diamond in this one. Maybe Annihilator was somewhere inspired by or even influenced by King Diamond. This was that kind of song, the King Diamond kind of song for me. On a different note, I think I might be mistaken, but this again is a pretty strong song as far as social messaging goes. We've already seen a couple of songs on this album with very strong social messages. I think this is the third one, the title track itself. I think it has to do with child abuse, domestic violence. It may not have been mentioned so well, but I think if you read between the lines, I think that's what these kids are referring to in the song, the main two kids in the song. And it's a very well written, beautifully crafted song once again, because it's a strong thing prevalent in the modern world. And not too many musicians, not too many artists in general, whether musicians or painters or movie makers or script writers out there or book writers want to dig deep into such a subject. They are scared. They literally don't want to walk down that path because maybe it will backfire or maybe it will not work out well for them. So this topic is not really taken up. I could be completely wrong, but for me it felt like it was a cry for help, and at the end of the song they had their freedom when this person literally who tormented them, abused them, was laid to eternal rest by them perhaps, or someone else for some other reason. I'm not sure, but great song once again. It was a change in tempo. It was more subdued, more slow compared to the other songs on this album, but what beautiful talent on display once again on the guitar, the vocals. Everything about Annihilator is pure perfection so far. I'm quite surprised that they haven't done as well as some of the big names in metal have. Very surprised after hearing so much of metal music in the last 7 or 8 years on this platform. I'm surprised that Annihilator has not got what they should have got. And could be wrong, maybe they really did that well. We have a patron from Europe, Scandinavian part of Europe, who's requested them. So I don't know whether they are from America or from somewhere else. But if someone from that far has requested them, perhaps they sound like an American band. But so perhaps they have got this share of fame, but definitely nowhere as far as some bands which don't really deserve it, but still have got a lot of fame along the way.
Yeah. We have reacted very little to Annihilator, and that's the fact. But I always felt just because of their name that they were too big. Now I wouldn't know much apart from my journey on Enoma with reactions to Western music. I don't know during their time who was how big. That is something that I don't have a clue about because I wasn't into the scene at that time. But what I'm listening to in this album from Annihilator is a band and band members having their heart in the right place and knowing what they're doing, and extremely skilled people working together. For this song, Neverland is written by two writers instead of one. It's not just Jeff Waters but also the vocalist of the band, Mr. Fard, if I'm correct in pronouncing his name that way, Coburn Farr. So and I think the story may be coming from his heart and what he may have wanted to, because it's slightly different from the other songs. Other songs are more plural, more social, more general. This one is more precise, more specific about certain characters. So far we saw a lot of general concepts relating to or pertaining to a lot of people, general society. But this one pinpoints or specifically
If
talks
it's
about
about
certain
domestic
characters.
abuse or domestic
Yeah.
violence, it is not.
Yeah.
It's not a personal thing. It's general. It happens all over the world, and it should be talked about.
No, I'm saying the way the story is told. I'm saying the approach that is taken. So it somehow suggests to me that it is mainly coming from the vocalist, his ideas mainly, and then second fiddle being Jeff Waters. I don't know who was what and who played what, but that's what it feels like. Initially, I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what was going on. Him starting the song itself by saying that my room is full of toys and dolls, and then but there is nothing new. So it did suggest something that this person has everything but no freedom.
Yeah, he hasn't been to
The
school
freedom,
for years.
yeah, the freedom is lacking. Everything else may be given, but taken away the freedom. And freedom is such, you may have everything, but if you don't have freedom, it is not life. That's the reason why people are punished directly by taking away the freedom of movement, the freedom of doing things, the freedom of most things that they could do with their time or utilize. So the moment you take away freedom, and no matter how much more you can give to that person, it means nothing, because the time of the life that you could have done acquiring a lot of experiences and living life in the ways that you wanted, when that is taken away and somebody else has chosen things for you, that's when it is the real punishment and life snatched away. So thank God Savio spoke first and he gave a context to it, because I couldn't really put things together when I was listening to the song. What is happening here? It was definitely more somber, it was definitely more melancholic, and it was different from the other songs. Hence, I think being Neverland, the title track of the album. So far, that album suggests that it's a hard, it's a metal album, but it has a very soft heart to it. So, every song has extremely soft connect to a person or a listener. It's not on a rough surface. It's connecting to you with the heart, but music being coming from a different genre, which makes it even more alluring for me.
What are your thoughts, Max?
Well. I'm not sure myself what the song was about. I didn't understand.
Don't take the pressure, Max. It's okay.
Well, it felt like he went into a world where he did not like Wally. Maybe he used to be someone else. Maybe he's not real child abuse. Maybe it's not that he's grown up. Maybe he's gone into a different life. Maybe he's in party. Maybe he's become a criminal type of person who's now who cannot live normally. Maybe he's a child who simply is from poor background or in a situation, a calamity must have taken place where he cannot any longer continue. For example, there's this movie, A Beast of No Nation. He was
you like that movie?
Yes,
a lot,
he was a
right?
normal child, but eventually his family he got separated from his family. and then they all went except for him.
Yeah.
They all evacuated,
Yeah.
and then and finally he almost got killed by the soldiers until he finally joined the rebels.
Yeah, the militia.
And then he started fighting the government then. So it could be something like that, where the life is no more Naba now is channeling all his rage onto whoever these people are that he wants them to take that. So maybe he's now in a whole different life altogether. He's not a child anymore.
It's a beast of no nation, right?
Yes.
Oh, Max loved this movie. I remember.
Well, let us say
it was last year or
Yes.
last year it came, and he badly wanted to see it. We all watched it.
It's not a
He
new
was
movie.
moved.
I think it's a few years old, but we watched it last year.
We watched it 2 years ago, I remember.
But the movie's not that new.
Oh, I thought it was
Few years old
released
at
at
least.
that
Few
time.
years old.
Okay.
Well, the movie is a very strong movie about basically all this terrorism and government and all these
And how it impacts
revolutions
children.
really.
Yeah.
About what these children really do, all the family separate. It's not like how modern times are like people like to just pick sides, like, oh, these people are freedom fighters, oh look, these people eliminating the terrorists, good people, these people are everyone's saviors. And no, it's about really how the country gets affected in general. It's not about taking sides at who's better. I mean, obviously we saw in the beginning of the movie the way the government and tank rolled in and started shooting at them. They expected that they were going to be safe, but instead they got shot at instead, the people. So then he joined the rebels because they offered him a better choice.
You're
It's
right,
not-
it's not easy. Where we just listen to the news and we pick sides, this
Yeah.
is good or that is
And
good.
it's not that
But there's
he
so
is
much
a
more.
rebel, he did many things that many people
Yeah.
cannot even fathom doing
I think
themselves.
let's not ruin the movie for anyone and let's
Yeah,
move on with
let's
our
not.
reactions. We'll take a quick break. I need a stiff one after this song.
Yeah.
And then we'll come
Why
back
are you?
with the remainder of this album.
Okay.
Hope you join us for that. Hope you're having a good time listening to our views. It's a single take, unscripted, honest review that we are giving. All of us are giving our own take, and it could be right, it could be wrong, it doesn't matter. That's how we are. We are not here just to win hearts and win views and all that. We're here to listen to some good music and share our honest opinion on it.
And experiences
Good or
together.
bad. Sometimes it may not be to our liking, which is fine. And I hope you appreciate our honesty in those times. Just as you do when we like whatever you recommend us, and so on. Yeah, that's it for this one.
One moment to acknowledge our patron Marco, who has been making these lyric videos for us on his channel. I especially like these ones where you have put that red bar that is progressing when the solo is going on. I like that effect. So just to acknowledge that and appreciate that, I want to take the moment. Thank you, Marco.
That's it for this one. We'll see you back in a jiffy.